Okay, everybody, welcome to Musing Beer. I don't know exactly what the title of this homebrew video is going to be, nor the description. I usually try to put something in there that lets you know what this episode is going to be about, but I also try not to, say, this is everything I'm going to say in the episode, and I don't want this one to be too long, so I don't know what kind of description it's going to get. But it's going to be at least two-part anyway. I'm going to show you a little bit. I only have a little bit of video from Floyds, and I'll talk about my trip to Floyds. But I also want to talk about what's about to happen in my fermenter. For the first time ever, the plan was to brew a beer pretty much back to back. To be honest, I brewed the Sriracha Ace bottles in between batches, but in the keg right now is the Fug Nugget, and like it a lot. And it's just about gone, and I was just going to brew it again. The exact same one, and the first time I thought, okay, I'm going to rebrew that beer, and I had no intention of changing not a thing. Until I went to the homebrew shop. And luckily, I knew some of my exchanges. For example, when I needed 3 ounces of Fuggles and they had 1 ounce of Fuggles, I picked up 2 ounces of Willamette. And so, although it'll be Fug Nugget, it will have Fuggles and Nugget in it. It also has just a little bit of Northern Brewer, which I have. But it will have as much Willamette as it has Fuggles. I'll try to keep the actual Fuggles for the latest editions, the last editions, because that's where you're going to get the most flavor and aroma. Obviously, is the later in the boil, or in the wort, if we're talking about dry hopping, that you add the hops. Obviously, that's when you get the highest amount of flavor and aroma from your hops. Earlier on, you get bitter. Most of you are aware of this, but so that's how I'm going to split that up. They're very comparable hops. They have a lot of the same notes, and so that's what I'm going to do with that. I also I wasn't able to get the Crystal 120 that I was going to use, which is just a darker caramel roast. And so I went with Dingman Special B, which, although it's potentially has a little more sweetness than the 120, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to be, that's what I'm going to do. I thought I was going to have to do something about the honey malt, because I could not find any at my homebrew shop, but when I was unloading my stuff, I realized that apparently when I bought my honey malt, I'd bought in several pounds, and so I have not used all of my honey malt, and I have honey malt. Now, I do intend to do a couple back-to-back brews here, and that's going to be a slightly different system, and that probably not necessarily the Fuggles brew day, but the second brew day, or when I rack to secondary, that will probably be a video, because that's going to be something new that I'm going to try. I'm going to try to secondary in my corny in my fermentation freezer, because that's at, my 67 degrees. It's at my fermenting temperature, which is pretty much my bottle conditioning temperature. And so, although it won't be carbonated, that's where it's going to stay. But I'll get into that when I'm doing it. It's kind of an experiment thing, so as to keep the pipeline more streamlined. That's the goal going into fall. And so, that's kind of what's going on brewing-wise. Although I am also in the process of attempting to get the brewery, and now we're to August, but moved back to the garage. I've been assured that the garage will have its garage sale, and a bunch of the household stuff in the garage will move from the garage this month. And that being said, I'm going to put my barrel stove in and switch a door around and try to make my garage someplace where I can brew in the middle of winter a little more easily, and try to make my brew house not move dependent upon season, so that it can be a little more in place. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you the video from Three Floyds. Like I said, there's not a ton of video here, but we'll show you the video. This is the actual brew pub for Three Floyds. It is in Munster, Indiana. Here's the interior shots. Now, Three Floyds was amazing. If you watch my stuff and listen to my stuff and check out my JTV cast, you know that I listen to comedian, musician Mikey Mason, and he has a blog, Beer Powered Time Machine, which rocks. You should look it up if you're a beer guy and or a geek, or as I am, a combination of the two. And he typically starts out his podcast drinking a Pride and Joy from Three Floyds, and I had a Pride and Joy, and a Pride and Joy was very nice. I also had their Dreadnought, their Alpha King. Those are both IPAs, and I did not have a Gumball Head there because I brought home a 6-pack of Gumball Head, and Gumball Head is a nice citrusy, amazing IPA. It is worth a shot if you can get it. For me, it's hard to get. I had to bring it home from Indiana. But their Robert de Bruce, which is their Scottish, was very nice. Nobody else at my table enjoyed the Robert de Bruce, which kind of worked out for me. Because the truth is, I didn't get the sampler. I got the Dreadnought. It was one of the IPAs. I was looking for an IPA. I didn't get the Gumball Head because I'd already been to the what do you guys have in 6-packs for me to walk out the door with, and I'd already decided on Gumball Head. And since I knew I was taking it home, I didn't feel a need to try it. I had faith that it was going to be good. Myself and my buddy and our wives went on this trip, as we talked about in some of the other videos, and my buddy's wife ordered the sampler, and it had Pride and Joy, Dreadnought, Alpha King, Robert Bruce, and everybody at the table tried all of them, which was good for me because they all found something they liked there. None of them were on the sampler for the most part, and that allowed for me to drink the rest of the sampler. And so I got that, plus I got my Dreadnought, and Three Floyds is amazing. It's just a little place, and I don't know just how far their distribution goes, but if you come across it, it is worth trying. I've also had their Zombie Dust, which wasn't currently in production when we were there. It's also a really nice citrusy, piney, over-the-top kind of IPA. And Alpha King is also a higher alcohol, over-the-top IPA, and it was good. They were all good. I was very happy with everything I had there, and for the most part, that's not always true. I go lots of places where I don't appreciate everything. I don't always talk about the ones I don't appreciate too often, because you hate to badmouth somebody's good effort. But Three Floyds, everything I had there was very good. Okay, we're going to pretty much wrap this video up. I don't know exactly when we're going to get it posted. I would guess on Tuesday, like I said. When mine says HBW on it, for the most part, I mean Homebrew Weekly. Because this one I'm actually going to get to early, probably, but I'm usually late. And I hate to set up the expectation that it's going to be on Wednesday every week. This one will be ready for Wednesday, and so I may hold it for Wednesday, but we will see. And so tune in Tuesday nights on JTV at 11 Eastern. Typically before me is Jake and Dar. And looking to have another fun cast. Just a little quick shout out if you watch the videos and you pay attention to Heavy Riff Beer. Jared is casting with Becky on Wednesdays, and this week he will be on his new channel, which will be Heavy Riff Homebrew, and so check them out. Cheers, 17.